All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about season 5, episode 6 of HBO's Insecure, entitled Tired, okay? This episode, just as I was starting to get tired, okay, of this season, I was able to make a weird pun, I think, on last week's episode too. I can't, what was last week's one called? I kind of want to look it up now, because I feel like I made a goofy ass pun with that one too at some point in the video. Oh, survival. I'm talking about I barely was able to survive that episode. But just as I was getting tired of of the season, they come in with a fairly strong episode this week, and this is where you get your strength from. You mix in that humor, but you also have some good character moments, and that's where you show some of that growth. You show some people having some real conversations, some real moments, and you can get that heart in there, and you can get your strong episodes back when you combine that with some humor. But before I actually get into the episode, I want to talk about something I found out on the wind down, which is the little kind of like behind the episode interview thing that happens after the credits. It turns out Natasha Rothwell, who plays Kelly on the show, this was her directorial debut. She directed this episode. It was her first time directing on the show, and it was her first time directing overall. And I think she brought something interesting to this, because the whole idea of something playing out that seems real, and then you find out later that the character is imagining it, is way over the fuck done. Like, it's happened a million times. But I liked what she brought to it, because a lot of times you see somebody like acting out some sort of fantasy or something, and then it comes back and it's like, oh, haha. But I like how this one goes on long enough. When she does it twice. I like the fact that she added in making this play out for so long that you start to question what you think is going on. It's like with the opening, they have Issa approach Lawrence at condolences in the hospital, and it seems real for a while. But as the conversation continues, you start to wonder, is this real? Is this real? And it keeps going, and it keeps going. And there was some point where I was like, okay, I don't think this is real. And it was prior to when it became obvious that it wasn't real. But I thought, they played it out long, and then when they finally make you for sure know that it's not real, it was still really funny. Not just from it not being real, but from just what was happening was funny. Like the fuck them kids jump shot, the this is Sparta kick, like all that shit was really funny. So I like what Natasha Rothwell brought to this. I like how she did it again at the end with condolences, doing that kick on Issa into the garbage bags. Like, so I think she brought something interesting here. And then, like I said, she also had some interesting character moments that when I talk about the main plot lines in this episode, I'm gonna bring up one thing in particular that she said in the wind down that I thought she did an excellent job of. So this episode kind of has two focal points this week. You have the Issa Nate storyline that's coming off of the unanswered "I love you," and then you also have Molly going to this conference or whatever, and having some moments as well. But I'm going to start with Nate and Issa. And what's interesting about the Nate and Issa thing is it kind of starts off with, it doesn't kind of, it does start off with her trying to like almost like coerce him into saying I love you, and not even like coerce him like you should say it, but like give him ample opportunity to do it himself, but without being super obvious about it, I guess. But it doesn't work, of course. Why would it? This is Nate. I've been saying the whole time I don't buy them as a couple. So this dust up that they had in this episode felt like that felt real. That felt like that needed to happen, because I have not been buying this whole time. I have not been buying this. But Nate then is working at his barbershop, and he does the number one violation that you could do in a black barbershop, which is cut another barber's customer. And I knew that was gonna go left. Like any black man watching that who's been in the barbershop knows that is the number one violation. Like, you knew it was gonna be a problem when dude found out that Nate cut one of his customers. So that does end up happening later. Everybody got problems with this dude, but he takes it out on Nate specifically, saying that he's gonna pay his rent, and brings up his mental illness issues and his bipolar specifically, and it looks really bad. But what ultimately ends up happening is Nate kind of uses that as an excuse to kind of like try to make his way out of the relationship with Issa. And it's one of those kind of things that uh, scumbag motherfuckers like Nate do. Like, I don't like Nate's not cool, man. Like, he has moments where he seems really nice or whatever, but at the end of the day, Nate's one of those people who cannot commit to a relationship and will pretend like he will, and like almost like kind of coerce you into feeling things for him. And then as soon as that attachment starts to happen, he goes to bail. Like, that's the worst kind of person to me, because you don't have to get somebody attached to you. Like, you don't have to do that. You could just not. But he like makes people get attached to him just so he can go fuck off. And like, that's such a shitty thing to do. But he does it here. You know, he won't commit to Issa. He won't say that he loves her back. He works toward getting her to that point. But then now that she's there, now it's already like, okay, well, I got what I wanted, which is for somebody to love me. Now I'm gonna bounce and move on to something else. And he uses the dust up in the barbershop as an excuse to try to say, you know, maybe LA ain't for me, maybe I should go. And they have a fight that both sides make good points. You know, Issa basically says that he won't commit, which is true. And then he says that she's been all over the place, which is also true, which I hadn't considered until he said it. But she was very like, okay, one minute I like you, the next minute I'm crying in your mouth, the next minute I love you. She is tough to read, and for a bipolar guy, that's probably pretty tough to deal with. But I thought what they did with Issa and Nate this week was pretty interesting, and I felt like it's true to what they're going through and what they've dealt with, and kind of where they should go moving forward. Because this just doesn't work. Like, Nate's just not that kind of guy, and I'm kind of surprised that we are this late into the final season and we still have Nate on the table as someone that Issa could end up with. Because like I said, I've never bought Nate as a viable partner for her, and if anything, this episode just proved that. But it felt true to those characters, what happened with them, and I found it interesting, and I found it to be very, very natural. Like, it felt like that's what should happen. So really good stuff there. Let's see. And then Molly. The other thing that I want to talk about was Molly's situation, and I've been coming down hard on the Molly character the past couple weeks, rightfully so. But you know, I've been coming down pretty hard. She has some moments here, but it starts off very, very weird, because I've been saying the whole time, why is she keeping it a secret? I don't know if I've said it on the videos, but I've at least said it to my wife. Why is she keeping this whole thing about her mom secret? Like, I don't understand that. Like, you want to force yourself to perform at a high level at your job, knowing that you can't concentrate because your mom just had a stroke, but you want to keep it a secret and continue to fuck up at your job because you think you're gonna keep a secret and do well. Like, and mask all this and continue to perform. Like, it just seems dumb. It's like she's voluntarily allowing herself to be fucked. Like, I don't know why. Like, why would you do that? So that's where she is right now. So she also goes to this conference, which I also thought that was weird. Like, your mom has had a stroke. She ain't even woke up yet. And not only are you keeping it a secret, but now you're agreeing to do things that take you away from her. So now you're somewhere else. You're trying to FaceTime, text it all the time. What's going on? While Issa's taking care of your family, you're at this event or at this conference or whatever, because you're lying about, you're so into the lie about not telling them about your mom that now you've voluntarily put yourself in a place where you're not around her anymore to be there. And it just seemed like typical stupid fucking shit Molly would do. And like that, just I'm kind of over Molly's like self-defeating shit. Like, she keeps putting herself in positions to where she will lose, and whether that's relationships or work. And I'm like, I can't feel pity for that. Like, she keeps doing dumb shit and making bad decisions. And now we've established that she knows she does this, and she's doing it anyway. So I'm like, I can't feel anything for Molly in that regard. But she does have, well, actually, before I even get to her good moment, let me continue to talk about her bad moments. She wakes up on a morning having blacked out, has no memory of the previous night. There's a watch in her bed that she doesn't know who it belongs to. What looked like it might have been pills. I don't know what that was, in the bed as well. And then she goes to breakfast and kind of has to like front to find out what happened. And it turns out it's Torian's watch. And they show her a video of her going Molly time or whatever and dance in the middle of this dance floor. And that's another thing that's like, okay, now Molly's like, in addition to making bad relationship decisions and bad career decisions, now she's making bad social decisions as well. So she's just fucking up across the board. Congratulations, Molly. And, she has a moment where she finally shares with Torian about everything that's happened with her mom. He shares something as well about what's happened with him. And they have a great scene where you can kind of see, even I was sitting there like, damn, Torian don't seem so bad. And I've been hating this motherfucker the whole show. Like, I don't mean the whole episode. I mean the whole Insecure. I've been hating this motherfucker, man. Like, can't stand his face. But in that moment, like not wearing his little, I think it's because he's small and he always wearing a suit. Like, you feel like he's like Boss Baby or some shit. Like he's like Boss Baby or some shit. Maybe that's why I don't like him. But wearing like normal clothes, sitting down, so now he's like even stature with Molly. It felt like, he was showing some growth. He's saying like, you don't have to keep these kind of things secret. We're a team. We're partners. Yeah. And he seems very caring. And he seemed good in that moment. And in the wind down with Natasha talking about how she directed that, she said that she wanted Molly, she wanted Yvonne to have Molly see something in Torian that she hadn't seen before. And I think they did a great job of both showing that and showing Molly seeing it. And I thought that was really great work from everybody involved. I don't know the guy who plays Torian, what his name is, but him, Yvonne Orji, Natasha Rothwell's directing. I thought that was a really great scene. And what she said she was going for, she fucking nailed it. So really good on her. It looks like Molly's about to have a moment where she's about to kiss him, which would have felt weird given that he's been shitty the whole show and he had only been good like one scene prior. It's like, maybe I could buy it a little bit more if maybe they give him like the next episode as well to kind of be a good person, like have them like, have build a little bit more in the next episode. And then maybe if they kiss at the end of that, or they kiss in the following episode or something like that, I can buy it a little bit more. If they had kissed this time, it would have felt more like Molly being reckless than anything else. And I like that he shut it down, but then he had that weird moment where he's like, my mama had a mug. Like, okay, what? But like, you just reverted back into like total fucking like, you're almost like a child here. Like, but I thought they did a great job with kind of like starting to establish him as somebody who Molly might see something in, and I could see that, and that might be something that could work out for Molly. Now, traditionally, over 4.5 seasons, Molly gonna do something stupid and just go fuck some random guy, and any kind of growth that we thought we saw in Molly will be gone. That's what's happened so far, but hopefully that won't happen as we close out the series. So that's all I have to say about this episode. I thought this one was a strong one. Next week's look like it's going to be a really good one as well. So I'll see you guys next week for episode 7. Peace.